Hello students, hope you all are doing great. I'm Achal Chaudhary working as an assistant professor in management department. Today I'm going to share an online video on principles of management. If you haven't seen my previous videos, then please check them once as this video is linked up with the previous videos and this video will not be helpful if you haven't seen my previous videos. And link of the previous videos has been given in the description below. Please check them once. If you want the PDF notes of any video, then you can mail me regarding the same. My mail ID has been mentioned in the description of this channel. So students, it's your lecture number 2 from unit 1. In your previous lecture, we have studied about the management meaning, its features and Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management. And today we are going to start a new topic with your principles of scientific management and essential elements regarding that scientific management. Also, we will cover the process of management, levels of management, along with managerial roles. So, let's start with today's lecture. Principles of scientific management. Students, these principles has been given by the F.W. Taylor. Basically, he has given three principles only. First three principles was given by F.W. Taylor and last two principles was the extension of his study. So let's have a look on this. Science, not rule of thumb. What does it mean? Rule of thumb means decision taken by manager as per his their or like as per their personal judgments. According to Taylor, even a small production activity like loading iron sheets into box cars can be scientifically planned. All of the things, all kind of activities, even small as can it be. So these all can be scientifically planned. This will help in saving time as well as human energy. Decisions should be based on scientific inquiry with cause and effect relationship. So what happens that science not a rule of thumb means कि whatever the decision is required in the organization, whatever the decision is uh, like you are going to take or your managers is going to take, that should not be personally judgmental, that should not be based on their personal opinion, their personal experience. It should be scientifically planned so that more and more efficient work can be done and that work can be done on time. Next is harmony, not discord. Harmony. Today, what happens that Taylor has emphasized that there should be complete harmony between the workers and management. Since if there is any, suppose if there is a conflict between the employees and management, right? So what will happen? Worker will sit on the strike and management will also think that okay, you are going for a strike, then go ahead. I'm not going to interfere. I'm not going to like fulfill your demands. So what will happen now? Your production will be stopped. You are not able to fulfill your task and the organizational goal also be not achieved. That is also not going to be achieved because there is no harmony at all. So here what happened that both the manager and worker should realize the importance of each other. They should realize that each and every work can be done by the harmony. If there is no harmony, no trust, no cooperation between the organization, then what will happen? The organizational goal can't be achieved. So for that like for harmony, it is possible, like it can be possible through the sharing a profit or like you can say division of work accordingly, team spirit, positive attitude. So by these things the harmony can be attained in the organization. Next is cooperation, not individualism. So what happened that if suppose you are working in an organization, right? You are working as a single human person. You are working day and night throughout day and night on the particular things. What will happen that this will also kill your like time. it will take too much time to produce anything, and also it will create a dissatisfaction between you and your work. How it will happen that you will feel like कि यार day and night I'm working on this thing, I'm working out, and in respect of that work what I am achieving, मुझे क्या मिल रहा है at the end of the day? मुझे तो कुछ भी नहीं मिल रहा है, right? Apart from salary, because salary is not everything. If you think कि salary ही सब कुछ है, तो salary is not each and everything, कि हाँ सिर्फ salary के लिए ही person काम करता है. There are many other things. People work for their self development also. So if there is a cooperation in the organization, suppose you are having a team of 15 members, so now each and every work will be like easy going. Okay, suppose you are good enough in production, second one is good in packaging, third is good in like promoting that product. So now things will be like कि आप easily सारी चीजें भी कर सकते हो, and that will also not kill your time. That's why cooperation is required in each and every organization. Next is mental revolution. Mental revolution involves a change in the attitude of workers and management towards each other. So it's a overall change in the organization. Both should realize the importance of each other and should work with cooperation. So mental revolution requires a complete change in the outlook of both management and workers. There should be a spirit of togetherness between workers and management. So it's a complete change. Here, FW Taylor is talking about the complete change, complete scenario which is available for an individual and management. So here we are talking about the complete change in their behavior, their attitude, and their working scenario. And last is development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. So as I told you that monetary benefits are good and they are linked with the work profile, but these are not enough. You also need some development in your behavior, development in your career. If you are not getting any kind of development, if you are sitting in like जहाँ से आपने start किया था, you are sitting on the same position, so that is not your development. Development is related to your like your mental development. You can talk about your personality development or your career development. So अगर ये development ही नहीं हो रहा है, so then what's the point of working there? So, efficiency of any organization also depends on the skills and capabilities of its employees to a great extent. So, providing training to workers was considered essential in order to learn the best method developed through the use of scientific approach. So, here what happens that Taylor suggested that if employees will get a proper training for their work. So what will happen? It will also increase their development, their mental revolution will be developed, and their position will be developed. They will also have a great know-how to use different technologies. So it will develop the employees and also an individual. So Taylor suggested that development should be there in your work. So these were the principles which were given by the F.W. Taylor. So we have covered all of the 5 principles. So let's move ahead. Essential elements of scientific management. Time study. Systematic study of time required to do a particular job by an average efficient worker has to be fixed before a standard work is allotted to him. So time study is primarily the art of observing and recording the best way of doing a piece of work. So what is time study? Time study is basically related to how much time it requires to complete a particular task. So if you are having a proper knowledge regarding the task, that this task will contain 8 hours, or so you can say 12 hours. So how to distribute that time particularly in your between your workers. So time study is very important in organization students, because for say आपने एक task रखा that you have to perform you have to like produce 12 products in a day. You are expecting this from each and every person, each and every employee. और अगर देखा जाए तो it requires at least 2 hours to produce a single good. So it's not possible for a worker to work 24 hours, right? So task ऐसा होना चाहिए, the person, the manager or you can say team lead should assign the task according to the work, कि जितना टाइम लगेगा एक वर्क को कंप्लीट करने में। अब ऐसा टास्क नहीं देना चाहिए that you know very well or you are not having some sort of idea. That's not a big deal. You have to analyze कि कितना टाइम लग रहा है. So first of all the thing is कि being a manager you should analyze the time which is required to do a task. So if you are not capable, you are not able to identify the time required, and you are assigning the work to do to the managers, so what will happen now? Employees will feel disappointed. They will feel like that they are being asked for a work which is not possible at all. So what they will do? They will just leave the organization, right? So क्या होगा कि production भी नहीं होगा, and also your image of the organization will also be ruined. So time study is very important. Next is motion study. It is the study of movement of an operator for eliminating useless motions. So here motions are being counted, they are being considered कि कहीं कोई useless motion तो नहीं है in your production. So if there is any kind of useless motion, that first you have to climb to the two floors to get the production material, to get the waste material, or you get the raw material. So by eliminating those wasteful motions, you will develop the production. अगर आपको पता है that these motions are wasteful for the production level, so what you will do, you will eliminate those motions. Next is work study. Work study is carried on to examine human work, keeping in view motion, time, fatigue, all those factors affecting a human being. So basically, work study is a combination of all the methods like motion, time, or fatigue study. So it's a combination of all. After considering all of these three, four studies, you are going to like analyze, you are going to assign the work to the employees. Next is method. Method study means कि what will be the right method to do a particular job. Suppose there are different methods like LIFO, FIFO, HIFO. So which method will be best suitable for that particular job? This is your method study. कि कौन सा method किस condition में best suitable होगा for the achievement of their goal. And last is your fatigue study. Scientifically, it has been determined when on a standard piece of work, an average worker gets tired. So, like if you are working day and night, okay, and you are not getting the proper lunch break, you're not getting a proper tea break, you are just continuously working and working on the particular thing. So, what will happen? You will feel tired after a certain point of time. So आपका उस टाइम पे क्या होगा that at that point of time you are not able to give your best output, you will not be able to produce a single unit after that if you are feeling tired. So what will happen, या तो आपकी quality up to the mark नहीं होगी, और आपका जो production है you are not able to complete that production. So these are the basic elements which should be considered by each and every organization. Next is importance of management. It helps in achieving group goals. So achievement of group goals can be only done by if your organizational goal is clearly stated to each and every employee, each and every person working in the organization. When you have a clearly defined objective, and in that situation what will happen, management will able to reduce the wastage of time, money and efforts. So this will help in achieving the organizational goals. Second is optimum utilization of resources. So here management work is to obtain and to observe each and every activity which is going in the organization, and here their main focus is on the utilization of resources whatever it is required. So all the steps will be taken by them to ensure that there is no wastage of the resources, there is no wastage of time, there is no wastage or no lacking in the human activities. So this will help in optimum utilization of resources. Reduce cost. When there in the organization there is no wastages of time, energy or resources. So what will happen now, the cost of the production will also be automatically reduced. When management is the responsible person for managing all the things, right? So here management will focus on the development or usage of better usage of physical, human and financial resources, which will help in reduction of the cost. Next is establishing sound organization. A sound organization is the one where there is a smooth and coordinated flow of each and every activity. So here management focuses on the smooth and ongoing process of the organization, which will help in the in establishing a sound organization where there is no overlapping of the activities, where there is no any kind of conflicts. So that will help in creating a better goodwill of the organization. Next is establishing equilibrium. Equilibrium means like when you know that organization is working in a a changing environment, right? So to survive in that changing environment, one should need to have a proper eye on the changing environment, and one organization should be adaptable to achieve or to change their goals, to change their activities. That will help in creating and achieving their organizational goals. If you are not able to change yourself according to the external environment, so what will happen now, the things will not be achieved. If you are having some certain task, you are having some certain objective or goals, so that can't be achieved if you are not able to adapt the changing demand, or you can say changing need of the societies. So one should be responsible enough, one should be careful regarding these changes. Process of management. Process of management is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. So, students, we will cover all of these elements, or you can say functions of management in detail in all the units which will be covered under the your principles of management. So, we will cover all of these topics in detail in your further units. So, first of all, let's understand about the planning. Planning is a kind of decision making in advance, that what to do, when to do, how to do, and who will do a particular task. Planning means plan क्या होता है? Plan is like planning something in advance, that you are going to do these works. Suppose you are having some party, some friends party, you are going to a friends party. So what will you do? You will plan like which outfit I'm going to wear, and on that outfit what all accessories you are going to wear. So this is you are planning something. Whenever you are deciding something in advance to achieve some objective, or you can say that to achieve some goals, so that is your planning. It can be related to anything. Next is organizing. The function of organizing is to arrange, guide, coordinate, direct, and control the activities to accomplish the objective of the enterprise. So, organizing is key. Whatever you have planned, to achieve that planned goal, what you have to do, you have to achieve, guide, or coordinate the different activities, different factors which will be required in your planning and achieving the things. Next is your staffing. Staffing is filling and keeping filled positions in the organization structure through defining workforce requirements, appraising, selecting, compensating, and training. So after organizing, next is your staffing. Staffing means like you should be ensured that you are having a proper manpower in the organization. And if in future you think that you will require more manpower, then you should be capable enough to arrange those manpower in future. So you should be like worked on that particular scenario, that in suppose in next month I will be like requiring 10 more manpower. So you should work today only that कि फ्यूचर में अगर मुझे 10 मैन पावर एक्स्ट्रा चाहिए तो मुझे आज से ही काम करना होगा, एंड आई शुड बी इंश्योर्ड दैट कि मैं फ्यूचर में 10 मैन पावर अवेलेबल कराऊं ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को. So this is something related to the staffing only. Next is directing. Directing is concerned with the carrying out the desired through people plans. So direction is something, क्या होता है? Direction is like you are giving some direction. You have planned something, you have organized each and every factors. Now you are giving the direction that you have to do this work, you have to do this work, and that work should be performed by me. So this is a direction thing. When you are giving the some direction, you are giving the some action कि आपको इस एक्शन में काम करना है, that you have to work to this location, you have to work in this scenario. So this is your kind of direction, because here now the work is to direct the things, to coordinate the things so that you are going to achieve the task. Next is controlling. Controlling means like determining what you have achieved and what was planned. So determining the gap in between those two. If there is a gap, then you have to be ensure that you are filling that gap or not. So this is your controlling. Controlling means whatever the result you get here, आपको आज जो result मिला है, and what was your plan? Suppose you have planned for the to achieve the 78% in your graduation this semester, right? And you achieve your like you have just scored 68% only. So what was the exact reason behind it? So now you have to ensure that in next semester you are going to achieve more and more, so that you can fulfill that gap. So this is kind of a like controlling thing, where you are identifying the gaps, you are measuring your performance with the pre-planned performance. Levels of management. Basically, there are three levels of management. First is top level management, second, middle level management, and third is your lower level management. So here top level management are the kind of managers who are responsible for controlling and overseeing the entire organization. Here they are involved in developing goals, strategic plans, company's policy, and make decisions on the direction of the business. So here top level management is is a person who is responsible to take the critical decisions which are involved in the organization. Here they are working on the strategic kind of decisions. So the top level management work is more critical than the other level of management. These are board of directors, managing directors, or general manager. Next is middle level management. So middle level management devotes more time to organizational and directional functions. They are focused to organize the things and give the directional function to achieve the organizational objective. So their role is to execute organizational plans. See, organizational plans are developed by the top level management, and middle level management focuses on the executing of those plans and defining and discussing information and policies. They focus on inspiring and performing or providing guidance to lower level management. So these are like branch managers, production manager, marketing manager, finance manager. So these are the head of each and every department sort of. And last is your lower level management. So lower level management focus on the assigning the task to the employees. They directly coordinate with their employees who are working under them, and guiding and supervising employees on day-to-day activities, ensuring the quality and quantity of production, and making recommendations and suggestions, and up-channeling employees' problems. So these are the kind of responsibilities which are held by the lower level management. So lower level management includes the foremen, office superintendents, supervisors, departmental heads. So these all are included in your lower level management. Next is who is a manager? We are talking about the management, managers, skills, manager role. So next thing which came in our mind that who is a manager? To whom we should consider as a manager? So it's an individual who is in charge of certain group of tasks or a certain subset of a company. A manager often has a staff of people who report to him or her. So manager is a person under which many employees, many people work under him and they directly report to him about their working. So functions of manager includes like planning of the work. They have to take decisions, important decisions. They have power to delegate the authority. They solve the problems. They are they keeps ensuring about the coordination, stimulating workers, setting target, and guiding their subordinates. So these are the some few functions of a manager which I have discussed here. And last topic of the day is managerial skills. First is technical skill. Technical skill is the ability to use the specialized knowledge, procedures and techniques of a field of activities. So basically student, a manager should be capable enough to teach his employees regarding the some specified tool which is required in a specialized field. So, for example, like mechanics work with the tools and their supervisors should have the ability to teach them how to use these tools. अगर मैनेजर को ही नहीं पता होगा that how to use these kind of tools, how to use certain tools, then what's the point of being a manager? सब आकर पूछेंगे कि sir how to use this tool. So what he will say that I don't know about it, how I don't know how to use it. So that's not working, right? So a manager should be capable enough to know about each and every tool technique which is required in his specialized field. Then only he will be considered as a good manager. Everyone will respect him, everyone will respect his knowledge, right? Next is conceptual skill. Conceptual skill is ability to see the big picture, or you can say to recognize significant elements in a situation, to understand the relationship among the various elements. So a manager should be having a conceptual skills. He should have that ability to visualize the things. He should have that proper vision to visualize his for the better future, for the better planning things. So he should have that skill also. So here what happens that it requires having the ability to visualize the enterprise as a whole, to envision all the functions involved in the given situation or circumstances, to understand how its parts depend on one another and anticipate how a change in any of its parts will affect the whole. So the main duty of the management is, or you can say manager is to visualize the things कि क्या क्या ज़रूरत हो सकती है and कौन कैसे काम करेगा, who will be responsible for which work and किसको क्या problems हो सकती हैं, what will be the circumstances regarding that particular objective, क्या क्या चीज़ें involve होंगी. So these all are included in your conceptual skill. Next is interpersonal and communication skills. Communication skill for a manager is must, right? The manager must be able to convey ideas and information to others and receive information and ideas from others effectively. So managers' ability to communicate with individuals and groups, controlling and motivation, they are what interpersonal and communication skills are. So if a manager is not able to like appropriately convey his idea, or he is not able to convey the information to the employees, then in that way what will happen, that they will not understand what exactly a manager wants. And here the objective of the organization can't be accomplished, because now things are not clear to the employees. They are not able to understand about the ideas behind any kind of decision making. They don't know about the information, proper information which are required in the production. So that will not help them. This will also impact the production of the organization. This will also impact the performance of the employees. So a manager should be proficient enough to have a proper communication skill. Whatever he is thinking, whatever he want to convey to his employees, he should be capable enough to convey that. Next is decision making skills. Decision making skills is the main job of the organization of manager. A manager's job is to make decisions that will lead the organization to achieve its goal. सो मैनेजर का जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट वर्क होता है, दैट इज डिसीजन मेकिंग. इफ अ पर्सन इज लाइक वर्किंग एज अ मैनेजर, so now every employee will come to him regarding each and every doubts, regarding all the like difficulties, or you can say regarding all the problems. And if he is not capable enough to take the decisions in that particular problem, regarding that problem, so what will happen now, from next time nobody will come to him to ask for the solution of their problem. So a manager should be capable enough to take the like a decision which will be beneficial in all the circumstances. It should not be like कि एक decision ले लिया, but that decision is beneficial for the employees only, and that will adversely affect the organizational goals. So things should not be like that. A decision, best decision is known as that which will be beneficial for each and every person, for each and everything which is covered under the organization. So that is your best decision making. So students, that's it for today's lecture. In next video we will cover the remaining topics of unit 1. So here are the questions which are related to your like today's topic, today's concept, and these questions are also asked in your university exams. So let's have a look on them. Question number 1. Defining conceptual skill. Question number 2. Explain in detail various levels of management. So you have to solve both of these questions, and these questions has been already asked in your university exam. So consider them as an important question. Thank you so much for your time. Stay tuned for more videos.